All right. Hey, everyone. We're back with another update. Unfortunately, this update wasn't what I was hoping it would be. It's actually the last update that we're going to have for a while. They're actually going to be going on hiatus. There was a post on Neopets that kind of explained what's going on. We will be going over it. I'm not going to, you can use Neopets' own FAQ page, but I think Jelly Neo explained it a bit better. It's a bit more clear. And it's a little bit more appealing to look at. So we'll go ahead and use their summary of it. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into the plot. This is going to be the last few pages that we're going to get until the hiatus is over. Let's jump on in here. Okay, so I think this is basically. Does it look like it's just one page? Okay, maybe there might be more. All right, let's see. It looks like we're having like an action. So Ozzy, of course, is attacking them. I said like the two pets are still inside the bubble. They're just like, oh. Okay, and then the doggo fox, which we found out his name is Styx, like Styx. And he's looking. Okay, I wonder why he's looking at Ozzy. Oh, and he broke out. Oh gosh. Oh, and he got a stick. Now he's gonna be adorable. Run in the middle of the battlefield. Everyone's like, what the? No, not the dog. Oh no, he got hit. Pile of sticks foreground. Okay, back to void within. Come on, there has to be more than that. Okay. Oh, it looks like there's a little bit more. Yep. It's like, no, he turned him gray. That stick. Sticks. Oh my god. There we go. Now we got his name. Okay. Wait, he knows the dog? He knows the doggo fox. Oh no, what have I done? I guess he knows that doggo fox somehow? And it's like, no, they're acting like it died. I think it's, I don't know, we'll see. I don't think it's dead, but it's gray now. Okay, so the two fairies are gonna go and do the thing. Okay, so I guess they had a plan to do something. Okay, let's see. And then they, group hug. Group hug. Oh, and then looks like Vyra is going to attack them. Yeah, so Vyra is, so you see the chain here and then she's attacking them. So then this is the whole scene. So, cliffhanger, we'll see, we'll have to see what happens. But Ozzy has the mask off now. And the dog fox, you can see Styx is like halfway through turning gray. And we'll see what happens. Notice that I think the dagger is going towards Lux, so it's, is it possible they're gonna like, I don't know, do something with her? So we'll see what happens. There's still quite a bit more. Obviously we're only on page, actually with page chapter 11, we are halfway through the story technically. So if we're going along with the chapter numbers. Yeah, some of these pages are so long. Okay, let's go ahead, head on back to home. Okay, energy booster. I do that. I did the void essence for today. So we get to continue collecting points until the, I guess the hiatus. We'll have to check to see what's going on with the hiatus. So let's jump on over. It's on the official FAQ. So this is what it looks like whenever they do the void within FAQs or any sort of FAQ. They just literally dump it like this. It's really long. Lots of stuff to read. But we'll go ahead and read the summary of it here. Okay, so this is, so today, this 22nd, is the final date you can activate the plot price fortune cookies. Plot price fortune cookies and plot points fortune cookies. Okay. Also lasts you the last day, so you get 7 days. So basically just make sure that if you're going to be using, all 3 items will be reusable again when the plot returns. But if you are going to use them and activate them, just know that this is your last chance to use them until the plot comes back. Let's see. Saturday, September 27th will be the final day to begin plot battles and volunteer shifts. These activities will not be available on Sunday, September 28th. So if you're make sure you fill out your plot points by doing them. Let's see. Yeah, and then like if you started it, you can still continue it even towards the day. But it's unclear if they award plot points. So if you're going to be doing those, make sure that you're doing it to get enough points. Let's see. Sunday the 28th, which is the day after, is the last day to get the Void Essence collections. Okay. Comics will remain readable during the pause, but will not award prizes. Okay, so make sure that if you're going to do the comics, make sure that you're doing them now. So basically, this Sunday date is like kind of your cutoff to make sure that you're getting like all the Void Essences and all of that stuff. And reading the comics too. Okay. Let's see, chapter meter, energy boosters will also retire. Okay. Activities available during the pause. So these will be, looks like the games are available. So all the plot games will be playable. Though will not award any plot points. This includes, okay, and all of them. Avatars obtained from these games will also remain available. So if you haven't gotten the avatars, it's a good time to go ahead and get them. Prize shop will remain open and unchanged to spend plot points. Ugh. Okay, and then Fearless Deeds from Act 1 to 3 can still be obtained, so unclear if they award plot points. What to expect for Episode 3 does not... Okay, so TNT does not specify precisely when Episode 3 will begin, other than towards the beginning of 2026. This is slightly less specific than the roadmap shared last month, which specified end of January 2026. So it looks like they're kind of extending it. Approximately 6 weeks of new content and quests when returns for Act 4. Fiki also mentions restructuring of Fearless Deed achievements, plot battles, and hospital volunteering to improve the plot experience. Okay. Right, and then there's going to be people have comments. All right, so that is basically the news for today. So we are going to be getting a really long hiatus pause once again for the plot. Okay, so it's like this kind of pause. I can see why they're doing a pause, because I think this particular act was probably like Act 3. I think so far has been the weakest of the acts, just because a lot of it was just them kind of like, well, I think the end of Act 2 was also kind of slow. It was mostly them just traveling and talking and all that stuff. I don't mind the talking. I know a lot of people don't, but didn't like the talking. I didn't mind the talking. It was just so many, like, I felt like the whole puzzle part with the caverns felt like a giant like D&D side quest. Like the DM forgot what to do next, and we're just like, oh, we'll just throw in a story, that I made up at the last second. It kind of felt like that to me. It didn't feel connected to anything at all. It felt kind of weird that we got sticks like that. He just appeared, but then Ozzy somehow knows sticks, and it's like, okay, I guess stuff is going on. The ending was cool though. I like the cliffhanger. That was pretty cool. It does make you kind of speculate what's going to happen next, which is awesome. So far, I think I do quite like the ending, at the very least. Let's see. I'm just kind of thinking of some other thoughts too. This was also the update that gave us like so many games, because I think Act 2 only gave us 2, and then this one gave us 3. We're at 6 games total, which is kind of insane. I'm gonna play Doggle Fetch while I'm talking. It is a pretty easy game. I just find it weird that there's no music in this game, but Landrobot had it, so whatever. Anyways, I guess so far what I'm thinking of the plot is I just kind of want to share my thoughts about how it's going so far, and also what I think is going to happen next. So if you just want the plot updates, that's basically it. I'm just going to be like talking about like what I think is going to happen next, and just kind of theory crafting. So yeah. Okay, well, let's start that now. So I think so far the plot, it's kind of interesting. So we're in the halfway mark, and I think for a lot of people right now it's really slow, and there's a lot of complaints about how the points are being distributed. They try to fix it again in this update, but I think some people just didn't like that. If you started the plot late, you basically aren't going to get a lot of points. It kind of sucks. And and that's a really good point, that it will take a while to get points if you haven't actually been doing the plot like since the beginning. Okay. So that kind of sucks. I wish that they'll restructure that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe if you're like a newer player who just came back in, who hasn't been doing it, maybe like somehow give them more plot points or something. I don't know, like just to kind of balance it out, because I feel like right now they just it sucks if you just started it and if you haven't played in a while. I actually know quite a few people who started playing Neopets just because like a lot of people were talking about it and stuff like that. So it just kind of sucks that they're super behind now, basically. And then another is I don't think it's going to affect the economy. I think they're more worried about people getting a butt ton of the prizes than they are about that potentially. Like, it might ruin stuff. I personally don't mind the cap just because it does make me kind of reconsider what I'm buying. But at the same time, I know people like to. It's like you worked hard for it. Why don't we just get it, right? It kind of makes sense. So there's kind of pros and cons of both. So I don't really have an answer to that. What's the better way to do this? So we'll see what they end up changing for it. And then I'm kind of thinking like what the other thing I was thinking of was when I saw the hiatus was happening. I'm like, man, that's another hiatus. But at the same time, this was around the time this year when we got the hiatus. So I think there's a couple things going on. First of all, this is the biggest plot that they've ever done. This is the longest plot. It's also the most different structured plot because the other plots would only take like a year and then that's it. You would just have it for the dead time of the year, and then we would just have the other events. But because after the updates and stuff, they really started pushing a lot of events. So I think Jelly Neo had a link to that. The roadmap, right? The that little 2-year update that they did, which was awesome, by the way. I like that they gave us such a big update. This roadmap here, because they are doing so Void Within right here. But then next is going to be Fairy Festival, which is probably one of the biggest events that they are going to do. It's just like, it's like the biggest event that's going to happen. And then, but the other thing is we have to remember that, so Fairy Festival is going to happen, but then we're also going to have the Halloween event, and then we're going to have Advent Calendar. And we know Advent Calendar is basically the biggest thing because that's one whole month of just stuff. So they have to make the animations for that. They have to get the comics done for that and all that stuff. So I think that's the reason why they are extending when we're getting Void Within Act 4 because of that. It's kind of like, I think they're kind of overstretching themselves. If you think about it, they're literally just doing like an entire plot, a bunch of events, and which is way more than what they've done before, like ever in their history. So I think it's more than fair to give them that many hiatuses because we want to make sure that they do it right, that they get paid and that they do what they need to do, that the artists get the time to develop it. And I can tell they're having multiple artists involved, and some of them are probably newer artists, which is cool. They've always had a history of using the newer artists when they do art. So I think that's probably where it's coming from. So we're probably going to see a lot of those artists show up again for the Advent Calendar stuff. So I think that's more than fair that they're doing that. This is all like brand new content. And these chapters have been pretty long so far. So I think that's more than fair to give them that extra time. So basically, this is a really long plot. I think the coolest thing about it, for me being like a veteran player, is that there's a lot less dead times in the year where there's absolutely nothing going on. When there's no plots going on, it is a little bit slow. You're just kind of doing whatever. There's not really a ton to do, and you're just kind of excitedly waiting for the next plot. Having Void Within being this long does kind of like fill in the dead gaps when there's absolutely nothing going on, and it lets them kind of experiment a little bit, I think, when they have a plot like that. Like if you think about it, it introduced a lot of games. It let them do a lot of stuff with Battle Dome. So really, I think it was pretty cool that they're doing it like that. Will they do it again? I don't know. Like, is this going to be like a continuous thing? Like, will they do another plot that's this long? Who knows? That would be really interesting if they did. But I wouldn't be surprised if this plot continues into next year and possibly into the year after. I can see it extending that far. It really can. Just because there is quite a lot that they can do. There's a lot of like points that they need to finish up and tie up, basically. I sense that the ending is coming. Like I feel like it can close itself. It's not like it's not going to not close itself, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling a little bit here because I'm just kind of like, this is it. This is like, there's not much to do after this. So what's this gonna happen to the channel? Same as last time. Same as the last hiatus. I'm gonna wait until the next update comes up, and then it's gonna continue for Void Within. If there's another update sometime today or like sometime this week, then I'll go ahead and do a quick video. But I will be doing videos for the Fairy Festival. I will be doing a video for Advent Calendar and any other particular events that they might do in the middle. It makes me think, are they going to do Orion again? I don't know, because his whole stuff just kind of ended, and well, actually, he's going to continue with Fairy Festival, isn't he? So we're going to see him for Fairy Festival. We're probably going to see him. Let's say we see him for Advent Calendar. That's the one that that was kind of surprising that he just popped up in. So we'll have to see. And also, we don't really know how does he tie in with all of the Void Within stuff. So we'll have to see. I feel like the next art act is going to talk more about the like not ever kind of done with the characters, and I think they're gonna kind of resolve their arc sort of. We're gonna probably find out what's going on with that void stuff that's going on, and what does that mean, and how does that tie in with all of that? Because we still got a whole like other map to kind of connect together. Also, not all of the lands are gray yet, so slowly but surely, I guess. Anyway, so that is it for this update. I'll see you all whenever they do the next one, which will be in quite a while. But I will see you all again for Fairy Festival.